Hey guys, it's Aiden here making another video. Today I want to talk about something that's a little bit controversial and may ruffle some feathers, but I think it's something that needs to be addressed and something that needs to be talked about. And that's the issue of cannabis. Is it as safe as what people say it is, or as safe as what a lot of people think it is? Let's get into it. So before I get into the video, I just want to thank all my supporters, all my subscribers, all the people who comment and like my videos. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate your time and effort put into responding and participating with me. I read every comment that I get. I also want to let you know that I do offer one-on-one services, so if that's something you're interested in or you just have a question for me, you can reach out to me on my email address or my Instagram, which will be in the description below. Before I talk about cannabis specifically, I want to talk about herbs and medication in general. So whenever you're taking a product or a supplement or a medication, there's always going to be some therapeutic benefits potentially, and there's going to be some risks. So for people with health issues or genetic markers or things like that would predispose them to specific issues, there's some supplements or some medications that aren't going to work. And on the contrary, there's some people who have genetic dispositions and genetic and physical dispositions that would make it so those herbs or supplements would be helpful. So that's the case with all medications. There's always some kind of side effect. There's always some kind of effect that chemical is going to have on your body, that plant's going to have on your body, that works for some people and doesn't for others. So right now, cannabis by the cannabis industry, is being marketed as kind of this like cure-all drug, something that is very safe, very benign, and you know, it's kind of dangerous to market it in that way because THC in cannabis is a very powerful chemical and a powerful plant. And so to label it as something that has very little side effects is kind of misleading because it's not necessarily true, and it downplays the potential risks that are there, which do exist. And so it's just being mindful as the consumer to do your research and to make sure that you're educated, because that information isn't necessarily readily available, and it's definitely not being marketed in a way that is responsibly representing both sides of the equation, representing the potential benefits but also the side effects, like a normal medication or a normal supplement would be marketed, because there's money incentive involved. So if there's not really any risks, then people are more likely to buy the product, and therefore the cannabis industry makes more money. And I'm not blaming any specific person, and I'm not saying that cannabis shouldn't be legalized. I'm just saying that there needs to be more awareness of the potential risks and the potential dangers of cannabis, because right now there's a plethora of information circulating focusing on the benefits of cannabis, which there are definitely therapeutic benefits. I totally understand that that's a reality, but it doesn't necessarily work for every person. So I personally went through a cannabis or drug-induced psychosis. I don't think that cannabis was the only factor involved, but it definitely didn't help. And since I haven't been using cannabis, I haven't had any other psychotic breaks. So to me, that indicates that cannabis definitely played a significant role in inducing my psychosis. And while that information is out there, and I sort of saw that information before using cannabis, I thought I would be fine because most people said it's safe, and a lot of people use it and it doesn't really happen to them. And I'm not trying to scare anybody, because that's not my goal. It's just to educate that there are risks. And I do have bipolar disorder in my family, and so that's something that maybe I was predisposed to psychosis, and by having cannabis, it just brought that out but it's also having the awareness and having the sort of research and the balanced information for people to realize, and for people to not go into using cannabis and then having something happen when it could have been prevented, because they could have been like, oh, bipolar's in your family, it's probably not a good idea for you to use this product. But there's not really regulation in that sense, and there's not really education in that sense. They don't have any warning labels or caution labels on products like they do for cannabis with cancer, or like they do with tobacco with cancer, or with alcohol with like dependency and not drinking while you're pregnant and stuff like that. I don't know if they do that for cannabis with drinking or using while you're pregnant, but there needs to be more balanced information. And so the goal of me making this video is not to tell you not to use cannabis. It's not to say like cannabis is bad. It's just to realize that cannabis, like any other kind of medication or any other kind of plant, has potential benefits but also potential risks. And it's not to downplay one or the other, but to take all the information in as a whole and really look at it from a balanced perspective, instead of just focusing on the benefits or saying that cannabis is only good, because that's just not true. It's not a miracle drug. There's no such thing as a miracle drug. There's nothing that cures everything. It just does not exist. That's a myth. So that is what I have to share. If this triggered you, or you feel like I didn't accurately represent cannabis in this video, let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to hear what you think. I'm not trying to diss cannabis. I just want to raise awareness that there are risks and there are things that happen when people use cannabis that were induced possibly by the drug. So, all right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. And as always, make sure to seek your truth and to take time for yourself. Catch you in my future videos. Bye for now.